My name is Shrads.
And my name's Rita.
And this is Almost There?
Question mark?
Welcome back. We're so excited to be back as per usual. Today we have an enticing topic. Mm-hmm. Several topics.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get into some Am I the Assholes? This one's, the title is, Am I the Asshole for Not Observing Girl Code for My Sister-in-Law? Okay? I, female 32, was accused by my sister-in-law, female 34, technically my brother's 15-year-long on and off again girlfriend, of breaking girl code because I didn't claim ownership of her pregnancy test. Okay.
So many questions.
Okay. Last Saturday, I hosted a family get-together. At the end of the night, I went to use my personal bathroom, which is through my bedroom and has previously been off-limits since there's 2 other bathrooms for guests to use, and found a positive pregnancy test sitting on top of my tampon box. I might have kept quiet about it honestly if my previously diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and acute paranoia husband wasn't in the process of switching medications and hadn't gotten a vasectomy 2 years ago.
There's so much in that one sentence.
Basically, I guess everyone knows her husband has a vasectomy, so there's no way for her to get pregnant, I guess. I showed him it, and after a good bit of conversation, he was convinced I had no clue what was going on. He is nowhere near where he was when he got diagnosed, but this could have sent him spiraling if he had found it before me. Fair enough. So I was mad and got on the family group chat with a picture and asked if someone was attempting to be funny. Okay, that's fair. Like a prank, but then it would spiral her husband, so she was like protecting her husband.
Okay.
My mom hopped on immediately and stated it wasn't hers.
Yikes.
Hysterectomy almost 25 years ago, haha mom, which started the rest of the women chiming in with how it can't be theirs, all except this particular sister-in-law, who texted later and suggested it was maybe one of my older niece's tests. The group chat got quiet after that night. Wednesday, my brother-in-law sent a text to the chat asking if we got the mysteries solved, which started a whole conversation about how those with old enough girls determined it didn't belong to their daughter. During that, the sister-in-law texted me directly.
How big is this group?
I know, it's the whole family, I guess.
Damn.
During that, the sister-in-law texted me directly and explained how she didn't want my brother finding out about the baby until she had decided to keep the pregnancy, and how to announce it to him if she did. So she took the test and hid it in my house. She didn't hide it. She left it on top of the tampon box. I told her she knew our situation with my husband's vasectomy and his medicine shift. This was a terrible thing to do to us right now, and not to mention my nieces have all appeared to have been talked to because of her. Why not just do it real quick in a gas station bathroom or something? Before she answered me, I sent a text to the group and said, mystery solved.
No.
She then private messaged me asking that I pretend it was a test left over from my pregnancy. Not believable, by the way. My tests are in a shadow box in my living room along with the other pregnancy items.
What?
Her test is in a shadow box, like framed in the living room. But by that point, everyone in the group chat had figured out the only person left it could be. She then sent a long message to the group asking if we felt good ruining her plans, and a private message to me saying I broke girl code and should have just ditched the test somewhere my husband couldn't find, which she also could have done. And she just wasted $100 on her surprise for my brother. She hasn't answered any of us just yet. My brother said she's still cussing all of us, but he's just embarrassed. He's just as embarrassed with how everything went down. Is she the asshole? I personally don't think so. Because she didn't tell the group chat it was her. She didn't say, oh, it's my sister-in-law's test. She just said, I solved the mystery. And her sister-in-law, like, almost spiraled her husband.
I don't know, man. There's so many, like,
things
so much.
layers.
It's so layered.
I know.
I don't think she needed to be, like, so... Okay, I guess from her perspective, like, she's trying to say my husband could have, like, it could have been a whole thing.
Yeah.
But from the other, like, okay, first of all, why are you leaving a pregnancy test, like, out there, bro?
Tampon box.
Relax. Get that shit out.
And
like,
you're ruining, like, even if he didn't do a vasectomy, nothing, like, it was positive.
Yeah.
So if, like, he wasn't panicking, if he wasn't any of those things, like, he didn't have any of those things,
yeah,
the husband walked in, he'd think his wife is pregnant.
Yeah. For sure.
That's trauma. What if he gets really excited and then, like, she's not?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and she also couldn't have known that it was her.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, but do you need to message on the group to say, like, you know, is this a joke or whatever? Or can you just have these conversations with people, like,
well, I understand.
separately?
Well, in her head, she's like, if this is a prank, you could have, like, threw my husband into a spiral. Like, they're still dealing with it.
He didn't.
It's important. Yeah, but it's just in her head, she's defending her family, right? So she's saying, like, you could have put him into a spiral. So if any of you made a joke, like, it's faster. If somebody pranked us, own up. Like, everybody's in this group chat. Yeah. Because it's disrespectful.
Yeah. I don't think she broke girl code because she didn't really, like, out her or anything. Yeah. It was just very obvious. And, like... like, what are you gonna do?
And it's your fault. Like, why would you do that I just don't understand the thought process of leaving it on a tampon box. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Bro, why would you do a fucking pregnancy test, like,
at somebody's house? Yeah. And just leave it there.
Don't you have your own home? Like, why are you doing that?
Well, she said she didn't want to tell her husband until she wanted, like,
yeah,
she
but
wanted
go
to
to, like, a friend's house. Go, or like, fucking
like
throw
she said,
it.
a gas station. Yeah.
She didn't go against girl code.
All right. Okay, are we ready for the next one?
Ready.
Am I the asshole? My 24-year-old female friend, she's 24 female and her friend is 23 female, is upset I chose a guy over her. Okay? For some context, my friend, let's say her name is Jenny, and I met in our first year of graduate school. I was dating someone at the time and she was developing a crush on a mutual friend of ours. 25 male, let's call him Max. For our entire first year, Jenny was madly in love with Max but got rejected. She initially believed he just wasn't familiar with her enough yet and continued to try to pursue him. She asked him out a second time and again he rejected her, stating he couldn't see her being more than a friend. Jenny was devastated and I was often there to console her while she cried over him. After this rejection, she became unusually hostile to Max, making snide remarks on snapping at him when it was just the two of them. He would sometimes tell me this. Ooh. Eventually, Max became distant with her and did not hang out with us as much. Earlier this year, I broke up with my ex who I'd been dating for just over a year and a half. Max was there for me a lot during this hard time, more so than even Jenny. She was definitely there, just Max more. About a month after my breakup, and after having hung out with Max a lot, I realized I was developing feelings for him. I met up with Jenny to tell her how I felt towards Max and wanted to ask if she would be okay if things happened to develop further. At this point, it had been a year since the rejection, and she'd stated that she was over him, but would distance herself just to have some time to get used to it. I reassured her that that was fine and that my feelings were still very new and wasn't sure how strong they were. Fair. Eventually, Max admits his feelings for me and we agree to try out dating. Jenny is aware of this. We date for about a month and then Jenny asks to meet with me again. I agree and she essentially tells me that she doesn't want me dating Max. I told her I couldn't break up with him as it wouldn't be fair to either of us. I reiterated what she had said before regarding giving her space if she needed it. She, however, insisted I must break up with Max as she wasn't comfortable with it. I was really torn here because she's my friend, but ultimately I told her something along the lines of not burning myself to keep others warm. As selfish as that sounds, she left almost immediately saying she needed space. Since then, she's told many of our mutual friends what happened and says I chose a guy over her. Some people are messaging me saying I'm the asshole because Jenny is my friend. So Reddit, am I the asshole?
It's so funny because we literally just said bro, I just think like, well, if you're, it really depends on how close you are with this friend, because it doesn't seem like they're very, very close.
No,
but I think there's just so many other people in this world that like you could
have reached out to.
Yeah, or I just think like there are other people in the world, and you should just go find other people. Like he may have been there for you and stuff. Also, she dated someone and like she's getting in another relationship a month after with someone who had history of some sort.
Yeah. I don't think overall, I think she dealt with it maturely in the sense of like going to ask her, and I do think Jenny was wrong when it came down to like, yeah, that's fine with me, and then coming back like a month later and be like, never mind, break up with him. Like, I just don't think that was fair of her to ask the Redditor to be like, yeah, now, like, it's up to me when you guys are together and when you guys are apart. But I do think you were a little bit of an asshole when it came down to, like, but to be fair, they were friends. They used to hang out, the three of them. They used to hang out. So it's like, if you were just platonic friends and you thought that's all it was, and he was just like hanging out with you, like, is that really your fault? Because if you, like...
But then what do we mean when we say that, like, it's not okay to, like, date someone that, like, your friend had a crush on,
but I didn't think that way. I think as long as you have a conversation about it, then it's okay. So I think the only thing that could have been wrong in this situation is her leaning on Max after they broke up.
Yeah.
Without, like, talking. But then it's like, to me, that's like, if
but
you
they're
already
have
friends,
a friend.
Yeah, if you already have a friendship with this person, like, that's not fair to be like, just because you guys are not compatible, I'm not going to be friends with my friend anymore.
Yeah.
Unless he was, like, a dick to her, I think that's very different. Like, unless he was just, like, really disrespectful to her, it's different.
Yeah. This friend just seems, like, really salty about it, too.
Yeah.
And, like, she just hasn't moved on in life, so I think it just makes it worse.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, I don't think, like, she was completely an asshole. I think since they already had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
And she technically said, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it's such a...
It's a hard topic.
Situation.
Yeah. In both these situations, Reddit said no. That the person is not the asshole. It's interesting, huh?
So you would say she isn't too, right?
I think she's a little bit of, I don't know. I think if she was an asshole, like if I'm giving her something, like if I'm giving Jenny something, it's like the consoling thing after they just broke up.
Yeah.
But the conversation stuff, I think she dealt with it the way that she was supposed to deal with it, you know? Like I didn't think that was disrespectful.
Yeah.
Do you think she was an asshole? Like, percentage?
I think, like, she's, like... Actually, I think, like, she's literally, like...
Conversate out loud.
10%. 10%.
10%?
Yeah.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I agree. It's
like,
just
and
not,
10%
like,
is more just because she's had some... That other friend has had some sort... I don't think she dealt with it in a bad way or anything like that.
Yeah, I agree.
So...
Yeah, fair. Okay, the final Am I the Asshole that I have is for a pick-me girl, okay? So, am I the asshole for yelling at my sister-in-law for calling my boyfriend a pick-me girl? What? Wait, I didn't even read the title before.
Wait, what?
Am I the asshole for yelling at my sister-in-law for calling my boyfriend a pick-me girl?
Oh, she called him
a pick-me girl.
A pick-me girl.
Like a pick-me boy, I guess.
Rude. Just calling him a girl and pick-me.
That's not rude to call somebody a girl.
Yeah, it is. What do you mean?
When they're not a girl. I guess that's fair. I was like, don't talk about girls like that.
What do you... If they don't identify?
That's fair. Okay, can you search up this word for me? It's dyspraxia.
Common disorder that affects movement and coordination.
Okay.
It doesn't affect your intelligence.
Okay, cool. Okay, so my boyfriend...
Just don't read the H's.
Yeah. So my boyfriend has dyspraxia, but didn't get diagnosed until he was 19. Oh, she explains it. Oh, thanks, girl. For those who don't know, it impacts someone's relationship with movement, fine motor movement, balance, and sometimes spatial awareness. So my boyfriend gets himself hurt a lot, but he never makes a super big deal out of it, partially because he's used to it and partially because he always got in trouble as a kid for being so clumsy. Yesterday, we visited my parents. My brother, 31-year-old male, and his wife, 33-year-old female, were there. My boyfriend headed to the kitchen and walked into the door handle. I could tell it hurt, but he tried to brush it off. I didn't make a big deal, as I know he doesn't like attention being brought to things like that. But my parents got concerned and checked on him. As the day went on, a few more small things happened. Each time, my parents would check on him. Near the end of the night, after we had had a few drinks, we were both walking, and he accidentally walked into me. After my parents checked on him again, I could tell he was getting a bit uncomfy, so we stepped outside. My drunk sister-in-law... I'm scared. My drunk sister-in-law followed us. She started angrily telling me to get my boyfriend under control. He wasn't the only one here to see my parents and that he kept taking all the attention and he needed to stop being such a pick-me girl and that he was being clumsy on purpose. Sorry? Also, if he was being clumsy on purpose, what? Wait, I'm confused. Okay. My already tipsy boyfriend got pretty upset. He'd been uncomfy at the level of attention and concern my parents had been giving him. He had been called clumsy by his parents all the time as a kid, so he started to tear up, which made him feel worse because he hates crying, something he also used to get in trouble for. My sister-in-law made another comment, and now he's crying so he can get all the attention, and I yelled at her. My parents had been talking to her all day, and while they'd been checking up on my boyfriend when he was hurt, they have given her plenty of attention, and using her own words against her, she wasn't the only one here to see my parents. She started crying and ran inside to get my brother. He came out pissed that I upset his wife, but calmed down as soon as he saw me comforting my boyfriend. He told me that he'd call me later and got his wife, and they left. I called her at home and apologized to my parents, thanking them for having us over. They tried to comfort my boyfriend again, but I told him he's uncomfortable with people checking up on him, to which they apologized, but they told them it was fine as they didn't know. Me and my brother have yet to have that call. My sister-in-law has been texting me saying that I was now causing problems with her marriage and that I should have stayed out of it since this didn't concern me and was an issue between her and my boyfriend, as he's, in her words, obviously jealous my parents like her better than him.
Is she okay?
I've ignored her, but the fact that she's now sober and still upset, and that I was also drunk during the argument, has me wondering if I should have handled it differently. So, am I the asshole?
No, she's the asshole. You need to fucking talk straight to her and tell her to fuck right off. Because who the fuck talks like that?
But even okay, so what I understand of this is she doesn't know that he has this thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Why are you thinking that's first of all, the balls to have, okay, to do this all in your in-laws
house.
Yeah, that's so wild.
That is really wild.
And
the audacity to I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. She's drunk, she maybe has some trauma about not being the center of attention, and she finally got it and someone's taking it away from her. But then it's her doubling down when she's fully sober and be now you're the cause of my marriage problems.
Yeah, she just seems like an attention whore. But facts though.
No, facts, truly.
It just, the fact that you could even speak to people like that,
truly,
in general, it doesn't, first of all, you're the sister-in-law, right? So you're talking to your brother's sister about her boyfriend, and you're being so how do you feel so comfortable?
And then running to your husband and being oh my god, she whatever, and then he comes out and he's wait.
Yeah. Come on.
Something's wrong here.
Get it together. You're having marriage problems because you already had marriage problems, not because of her. So, what are her comments saying?
Oh, that she's not the asshole.
Okay. Yeah. Because she's not. She's the sister-in-law is the asshole.
Okay, I found this one. I don't know if they've determined if it's the asshole or not. But I'm going to read this one and we're going to end it off at this, okay? I don't know if it seems like it is crazy. But we can cut it out. It was only 4. Guys, Reddit is insane. It was posted 4 hours ago. It already has 150K likes or dislikes or whatever it is. Or no, 1.5K, sorry. That's different. That's still a lot. That's for 4 hours.
Yeah. Damn.
Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my husband to stop spending so much money on his dead girlfriend's younger sister? For telling my husband to stop spending so much money on his dead girlfriend's younger sister. I, 28 female, have been with my husband, 34 male, for almost a decade. We have 3 children, 6... Okay, I'm not going to tell you the kids' age. Together, and we are currently expecting our 4th child. He is an amazing father to our kids, and I couldn't ask for a better husband. He also has a very close friendship with his late girlfriend's younger sister, 20 female. 17 years ago, my husband's girlfriend, who was also his childhood best friend, passed away at only 15 years old in an accident that my husband survived. This one's gonna be tricky. Yeah. My husband has known Clara since... Clara is the younger sister. Mm-hmm. Since she was a baby, and he treats her like his own little sister. Her family had a lot of financial problems, while my husband has a very high-earning career. He says he felt guilty letting her struggle while he has all the money he doesn't use. Clara's home life was very dysfunctional, especially after her mom went into prison, and she views my husband as kind of a father. Wait, I lost it. He always attended her dance recitals, school plays, and sports events. He brings her along to our family of vacations. She visits our place at least once a week, often staying overnight, and our guest bedroom has pretty much become her bedroom now. Oh. He spent a lot of money on her. Any gift she wanted, he would buy for her, no matter how much it cost, like electronics, jewelry, and designer clothes. He bought her a car for her 16th birthday, even when she hadn't gotten her license yet. He paid for her to have her custom-made dresses for both her proms. He was extremely supportive of Clara during her pregnancy, paying for her daughter's expenses and helping Clara look after her. He paid for all her college tuition, school supplies, as well as her living costs.
Wow. Who is this angel?
Recently, Clara got engaged, and my husband told me he wanted to help pay for the wedding and buy her own house as a wedding present.
How well is he doing?
I said this was getting out of hand. I understand.
This is too much.
Know. I understand that he feels guilty over surviving the accident that killed his girlfriend. But we've got a lot of expenses coming up with a new baby. He says he sees Clara as part of our family and he can afford to take care of her as well as our kids. I said that it was sweet how much he cared for her, but he shouldn't be prioritizing Clara's needs over his actual family. He says that he's not taking care of her out of obligation or guilt, but because he's developed a genuine bond with her, and there's no reason he shouldn't use his own wealth to help her out. I don't think it was right for her to say he shouldn't be prioritizing Clara's needs over his actual family. That's his family. Clara's his family.
But I think it's okay to have that conversation to say, like, maybe you're doing too much and let's cut back on certain things. Because it's not like she's saying, don't have a relationship with this person, don't spend on whatever. Yeah. But she's kind of just saying maybe not the wedding and a house or something. Like, maybe it's, I don't know, it's one or the other. Maybe pick one and not both.
It says she added something else to add, like, more context. She's like, I told my husband to stop spending so much money on his dead girlfriend's younger sister after he said he would pay her. Yeah, that's fine. This may make me the asshole as we're quite well off and my husband thinks we should be using our money to help others. That was her context.
She didn't add anything to it.
Oh, okay. So someone's like, I guess if you all have stacks of cash and there's money gathering dust and your kids are set for life and it's his money, then he can do whatever he likes because it doesn't financially negatively impact you. If, however, the money he spends is needed and you and your kids miss out because of his generosity, then he shouldn't be gifting it. I can't judge because I don't know how wealthy you are. She answered, we're doing good financially, but our youngest daughter was born with health issues that cost us a lot of money. I'm just worried about him spending too much on Clara and not having enough in case of emergencies. We also have to pay for our kids' private schools and save up for their college tuition. Clara wants a very over-the-top, extravagant, multi-day wedding. My husband guesses it's probably going to cost around $150K, and that's not even including the price of the house, which he plans to buy in an affluent area.
Damn. I think it's just conversation. It's just conversations to be had. Like, if that's your little sister and you want to do that for your little sister, is anyone going to, like... I just think, like, it's a conversation to be had, whether that's your blood younger sister or this younger sister that now is in your life because of whatever has happened. So I don't think, like, she's an asshole for bringing this up. I think there's genuine reasons as to why she wants, like, it's not like she's saying cut her off, like, you know, we're not going to support her at all, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not like she's doing all of that. I think it's very... it's just a conversation to be had. Like, if you're freaking trying to...
Pay for a $150K wedding and then buy her a whole house.
Yeah, like, maybe pick one.
Or the other. He's paid for her tuition. He's paid for her living costs. I think...
She's 20 years old and all this is happening in her life. What is happening?
Is she 20? How old is she?
Wasn't it 20?
Yeah, she's 20.
What is going on? Where do they live?
Well... She's also, like, they don't
She's pregnant. She was pregnant.
She was pregnant earlier. I think at 20, I guess, is when she got pregnant. And now she's getting engaged. So she's like a young mom and stuff, but they've had a lot of trauma because they didn't get brought up with like whatever. So he's trying to like make up for her life because he has that relationship with her.
Yeah. I don't think like anyone's the asshole in this. I just think it's like boundaries, and you have to set those boundaries and stuff, like, because you do have, it's not about like, I think her saying like, you know, the whole family thing is kind of wild.
She is family.
Yeah, she's family. But I can understand why you would like start resenting this person, and that's why like the husband also kind of needs to, you know,
reassure her too. Like, I think it's like his job to just be like, hey, we have 4 kids, I get it, and this is what I've done to protect our kids, and like,
and maybe they already have had those conversations,
maybe,
but like we don't know.
And he's like, I can still do this for Clara, or like, one of the comments I just saw was just like, maybe it's time for you to stop doing so many things for Clara and just make her more self-sufficient. Maybe just pay for her down payment instead of paying for the whole fucking house. And like pay her mortgage and do all those things, which is fair too. I think there can be compromises. Maybe we start small, get her the wedding and just do down payment, and then she can pay for the rest of the house. Yeah. But she wants an affluent neighborhood, so she better be able to afford it. Yeah. But also as Clara, like, maybe you need to also take responsibility a little bit and be like, you don't need to pay for all these things.
But from what I understand, I think like he's been doing this for years now, and that's so all she knows, right? That's like for anyone that's kind of grown up in a situation where someone's always taking care of you, like financially and stuff like that. You've never had to go and find a job. You've never had to do certain things. So you just assume this is what life is. Yeah. So she might just be thinking that. And it's his responsibility to have those conversations and stuff. So, yeah.
On that note,
that's what we think.
That's what we
What
think.
do you guys think? Do you think
any of them were assholes?
All of them were like, we had a lot of scenarios, so
I don't think we had one situation.
Scenarios, though. Yeah, maybe not.
I don't think we had one situation though where any of them were full assholes. Yeah. Wow.
But tell us if this is interesting to you, like if you'd like to see more of this type of shit, because this is the vibe.
It's fun going through them and like just like hearing the twists and turns. It's also kind of crazy that these are people's like real lives. Yeah. Like that's so insane. And they like
expose so much about themselves. Like that's kind of wild.
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah. But also like people feel more comfortable that it's like going into like stranger world and like, you know, you don't actually know my life. Yeah. But I can get advice from people.
But I kind of wish that there was more context. But I guess how much context can you give? Like you can't write 20 years of context down, which is fair. But it's just like interesting. Yeah. Because like you might be getting the worst advice ever because nobody really knows like what's happening. You know what I mean? Anyways, we hope you enjoyed that. As Rita said, if you want us to do more, let us know down below. Like, comment, subscribe. On Spotify, you can also, I think, give us like 5 stars and stuff and like
follow us.
And follow us. That would be really cool. Yeah. And thank you so much for being here, and see you later.
Ta-ta.